sort of fix the roots underneath so it blends in with my wig better. And I thought, well, why not just show what my hair looks like without a wig? So it's not, it's got, it's really short in a lot of areas and it's really thin. But hopefully when it grows out, I can begin to work with it a little bit more. It's definitely a lot better than it was when I got started with my transition. I'll show a photograph of that. But it is fascinating to me the difference between where it is now and where it was. But I need to get some like hair gel and actually try to mess it up a little more. But as you can see, I've still got a decent amount of testosterone damage, which is absolutely horrible. But I know I'm not the only girl dealing with that, so at any rate, it does cause quite a bit of anxiety for me. I'm super, super nervous to do anything about it or with it, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. But I absolutely love the color. So that's that. I was gonna go down to the cemetery and shoot a music video or something. Or, you know, just some footage of some kind. And it's like the perfect day to do it too, but I've been smoking. I'm a bad, bad girl. So I may yet go down and do that, but yep. So for anyone who actually is like dealing with male pattern baldness, like it's a bitch, but it can be dealt with. Finasteride is magical. So I decided to come anyway, and this is not the entrance, but it's my entrance. And this is my last cigarette for a good long time, at least until I go to Elysium. I gotta promise myself that, and I gotta stick to that, because it does actually make a significant effect on how the HRT affects my body and whether or not it causes blood clots. It also destroys the effectiveness of estrogen, which sucks. The worst part is that it causes me extreme anxiety from time to time. Now, it would seem that whenever I smoke cannabis, however, it's something that I always like want to reach for because it brings the high to that perfect level that I've always, that calm high, but it shoots it straight up into your brain because it vasoconstricts, and I don't know, it feels really good. I like it. However, it does kind of hurt afterwards. The lungs get real heavy, and it's tragic, really. Because none of the herbal cigarettes are as good as a good clove cigarette. I hate to be typical, but I absolutely love this clove cigarette. I mean, these are like little cigars. They're not quite the old cigarettes, the Kretek that I used to get way back when I was a younger girl. But now this, in the cemetery, is this nice little pavilion. I mean, it's not the best thing in the world, but it's cute. And there's plants growing around it. It's green and well taken care of, surrounded by this resting dead. It's just the perfect place to come and draw, write poetry, you know, kind of shit that one does when one needs a little direction in one's life, I guess. At any rate, as I feared, the sun is coming up really badly, which means it's going to get hot and it's going to get very, very bright. So, not too happy about that. Really should have gotten started earlier, but I was dealing with a horrible bout of dysphoria relating to, well, my hair. So, I wear a wig. It's a human hair wig, or so it says. I tend to think it's a blend because it gets these frizzy ends, and I have to razor it, and I wash it and shampoo it, like, pretty much. Pretty much every time I shower, I wash it, comb it, and shampoo it. Conditioner, let it sit a little bit. It helps it out, but still, it gets frizzy, and I don't really like that. So, about that though, because it's not just because my hair is short, right? And the bangs do really cover up part of my, like, massive forehead. But a lot of this stuff isn't really just problems because of my assigned gender at birth. Even the cis women in my family have problems with thinning hair and large foreheads and jaws. I mean, this is not. I mean, I don't know how much facial feminization surgery I'm actually going to get. I might just accept myself for who I am. Oh. But I wanted to talk a little bit about my my particular experience with male pattern baldness and finasteride. So when I was about, oh, look at how gorgeous that is. Oh, I just love these little, so pretty. When I was about, I want to say 17, 18, I had my hair really long, and I would always dye it black, number one. But I began to notice it started to frizz up at the top. Just a little bit. Like, it wasn't much, but it started to get a little frizzy. So I began wearing beanies. It kept my hair warm, which had a straightening effect. And it also kept me from noticing or paying attention to the fact that it started to thin a little bit at the top. A couple years down the line, it was starting to get noticeable. You know, you'd have those peaks going. But, you know, it's really easy to ignore this kind of thing when you don't have to look at it yourself. And, of course, the crown was thinning and all that crap. So, I began to get to, and it got to the point where I wouldn't go anywhere without my beanie on. But it didn't matter that my hair was still relatively thick. I would wear a beanie everywhere. It became such a comfort thing, and it wasn't about the hair loss anymore. At that point, it was my blankie. But at a certain point in time, my grandmother, the cottage crone, she gave me some minoxidil that she had been using, and she decided against it. She said she wasn't going to use it anymore, and just let everything go. So I tried using it, and it was really annoying to me because I had to put it on and then let it dry, and I had to do that twice a day, and I couldn't wash my head, and it was just too much trouble, and it was gonna get lost anyway. I knew it. My biological father he's a cue ball. He looks like Napa. So is my biological grandfather. Doesn't look like Napa, but definitely a cue ball, for sure. So, oh no, I seem to have lost the flame. So I get for talking and not smoking. So it got to a point where it was too noticeable. There we go. There you go. Close up to my shit makeup. It got to a point where it was so noticeably thinning. It was bad. Like I couldn't have it like cover my face anymore. It started to like stay out of the face regardless of what I would do. So I decided to shave the sides of my head and just have a sort of mohawk kind of thing, which looked really cool. And honestly, I think it was kind of cute, but it was very it was like aggro kind of. I don't know. I liked it. It was able to allow me to forget that I was. Ooh, we are not alone. All right, just as well. It allowed me to forget that I was losing my hair for another long period of time, and I grew my hair out again, but it would always it just didn't look very good. Not on me. And mind you, I absolutely adore bald men. I think that when the hair is long but with a natural balding, like it's all like gone on top or real wispy, but it's long on the sides, especially if that man is a goth. But so I found myself, how not alone are we? Oh, let's find a little spot around here. Ooh, that's pretty. I wasn't even looking. Yes, at any rate, I'm distracted. Yeah. And as I was trans, I didn't tell anyone. I was trying not to tell anyone. It became harder and harder to sort of pull off that pretty boy look, and that was really fucking with me. And so, I mean, it was fine. Just wear the beanie, right? No one can see it. It's cool. But at a certain point in time, it made sense to, I couldn't just wear the Nicholas Quadfort hair, even though I thought it looked sexy on dudes. I decided to go ahead and shave my head and do the floki knot, I guess, which I thought looked really cool, and, I can show you. But yeah, when I finally came out for real, and I absolutely had to be, that look is it's just not good. It's really, really hard to pull off. Like, that is I would probably say the number one thing that allows someone to, I guess, pass. I mean, I don't think personally that passing is the most important thing, but it definitely makes a difference. So I had heard that HRT would help with this, and it did, a little bit. But it wasn't, it's very slow. All of the hair in my crown started coming back a little thicker, but still very, very slow. And I heard about this drug from my APN at the clinic I go to, and she said I should try it if I wanted to, right? And so I said, I thought about it, and after like a month or so, I said, okay, yeah, I want to go ahead and try this. Now, finasteride. I had done my research. Now, from what I understand, there are lots of people having lots of effects that they did not want. So, for example, the President of the United States takes, a half a milligram of finasteride every day, so he can keep that orange mop on his head, the one that kind of looks like Norwegian grass. Am I wrong? It looks like Norwegian grassy knolls. But it is there Um, and not that I wanted to emulate the president in any way, but I went ahead and got some finasteride for myself. And it began to take effect on, oh hey look, definitely not alone, someone's groundskeepers, which would be a job. I would love to be a graveyard groundskeeper. Wouldn't that be the best? Like, I mean, it'd be hot and stuff, but I mean, to go around here, like, just, you know, picking up trash and raking leaves and mowing the yard. I mean, it's just yard work, but to be around all of these wonderful graves, wouldn't that be great? At any rate, so I took... Is there a path up there? There is a path up there. I'm gonna go that way. And my Siggy went out again. I'm starting to sweat, as you can see. Because it's hot, because it's Texas. So, where was I? Yes, so the crown filled in very well. And with this finasteride, but I was very, very stressed out. So there's a lot of things about this drug. It will, for genetically male people, I guess, people with a Y chromosome, it will begin to make your so we're right by the highway, so that's close by. It will begin to make your genitalia malfunction. It certainly will help sterilize you. Because this drug apparently was found around some tribes somewhere. I mean, I can't remember where, but so all these people were growing, all the children were girls until puberty, and then the genitalia would start to form, and so this drug was found. Something was in the water, in the soil, or something. I don't know. But there are people who take this, and their genitalia stops working permanently, mind you, and they've committed suicide. Yeah, I'm trans. Right. And personally, my genitalia stopped working. I mean, that would be alright. It wouldn't be the end of the world for me. But, of course, they really haven't. But that's really nobody's business. At any rate, so when I was taking it, I was really stressing out, and I wasn't sure if that was my environment or the drug. But I had all sorts of feelings of, I'm gonna throw this back in that trash can. Yeah. All sorts of feelings of severe anxiety and depression, which I've suffered from for a long time, so it wasn't like anything new, but it was definitely amplified. And I'm sure that that had a lot to do with my environment, but I stopped taking it for a while just to see if it made a difference, and it seemed to. So we split it in half and did half of this extreme dose. Now the president takes a half a milligram. I take 5 milligrams, so I was taking 2.5 milligrams at the time, and it didn't seem to increase my anxiety at all. So I kept taking it. Then I switched back up to 5 milligrams. And again, it's very, very slow, but as you'll see, I shot a little video with my hair without the wig, so it's had an effect for sure. And honestly, since I got out of the semi-toxic environment that I was involved in, it hasn't increased my anxiety at all. And so, like I said, for me, myself, it hasn't had any of those so-called negative effects that a lot of cis men taking it were supposed to have experienced. So, like, one man described his penis as a dead floppy piece of rubber. Now, if that isn't scary to a cis man, I don't know what is. Yeah, I think that guy killed himself. So, however, I personally intend to have surgery down below when I can afford it. So I really wouldn't mind if that would happen, personally. Now, but it hasn't. So, I do have to take this drug for the rest of my life to continue to have the effects, supposedly. But with the estrogen, I imagine even if I stop taking it, I won't really lose too much of what has come back. Now, I'm still going to have some kind of surgery to lower my hairline a bit and kind of fix it up a little bit, I imagine. However, there's a bunch of blonde hairs coming back in the front, which apparently not everyone gets to experience that. So, I mean, I feel really lucky that that is happening for the amount that it's happening. I'll count my blessings. It doesn't cause me any stomach aches or, any problems really. It's not expensive, it's really cheap. And, shit, if it helps me out, that's great. Now I am considering adding minoxidil back into my regimen because I am, a little bit of liquid on my head in the morning and night is like so minor compared to the rest of the shit that I have to do now every day just to feel like myself. So I I honestly do not mind in the least. It's a little more, the minoxidil is actually more expensive than the finasteride, so I'm considering trying that out. It would be nice to not have to wear a wig, but it's also nice to kind of it's nice to have one. It's nice to play around with different things. And to quote Natalie, which we should all do from time to time, there's I'm gonna fuck it up, but something to the extent of there's a lot of people who are always gonna see me as a man in a wig anyway, so might as well wear a wig from time to time, right? Sweat. So, it's really all I have to say about all that crap. I can't think of anything else. I felt like there was something more, but I don't know what that would be. So that bothers me. This idea of trying to be on point and not say and pause all the time. But hey, it's part of me, part of who I am. My brain doesn't work as well as it did at some point in time. I haven't drank coffee in at least 4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, something like that. And it's about time I go to bed anyway, so it's gonna be that way. See, and we've made our way back to this little pavilion thing here. Whew, so pretty. I love these little stone chair things. These little benches, all covered in spider webs and shit. It's so cute. Oh my god, I love it. I know it's all like bright and stuff, and it would be much better if it was all painted black and shit, but like, hey, for a place to go. At any rate, there's one part of this that I haven't really explored, and it's over yonder ways. This isn't really the biggest cemetery, but it's pretty, and I like it, and it's comfortable. And I will, however, note for anyone who's a Pokemon Go player in this area, there are no Pokemon in the cemetery. Like, you would think there'd be a lot of ghost Pokemon in the cemetery. No, they're all on Main Street. That's Fredericksburg for you. At any rate, there's this nice little area over here that creeps me out. I'm going to show you that real quick, and then I'll go ahead and stop doing what I'm doing. So, the individuals who are sort of semi-stalking me can ask me what the hell I'm doing. So, look over here. As you can see, it's all pretty and green, trees and that kind of thing. And then right over here, there's a little spot right past here. Now, I'm not actually going to walk into it, but if you look from here, it's all dead. Now, I did walk into there at some point in time, and it was scary. The ground sinks beneath and everything. So, I'm not actually going to walk in there, but at any rate, I suppose they'll want to speak to me real quick. So, introduce myself. Oh, those gravekeepers, they're cute. I met Mike, the gravekeeper. I didn't meet the other guy. I should have introduced myself to him. I'm sure I will at some point in time or another. They just wanted to see if I was okay. I guess they kind of wanted to ask me what the hell I was doing, but, like, we're too polite or something? I don't know. I just let them know. I'm shooting a YouTube video, that kind of thing. But, yeah, oh, they're sweet. There's a couple of sweet old men taking taking wonderful care of this beautiful place. Yeah, I know how to speak. I can speak the English, I think. But yes. So, I like this place. It's pretty close to home, so I can come chill here. I'd like to take some time to go and check out all the different cemeteries and graveyards in the area. Sort of, how would I put this? Use them as a backdrop, I think, because they're gorgeous and they're comfortable and they make me happy. And you can't bloody well go into them at night, can you? I mean, you can, we used to, but it's illegal, and I didn't want to go to jail because trans women go to men prison in Texas, and I'm not gonna risk that shit. So, yes. Well, that's my sloppy ass. You know, to be fair, I don't even know the name of this cemetery. I think it's like Greenwood or something like that. I'm sure I'll return here at some point in time or another. Now, let me be absolutely clear about something. I'm not doing this for any, like, points or, like, goth clout or trans clout or something like any. I don't know what you think I'm doing this for. I'm doing this entirely for my own creative expression, as well as a sort of, like a journal for myself. And, you know, this sort of idea that I can put out, like, this annoying or this sort of, like, bottom feedery-ish, the most parts of myself that I wouldn't share with not necessarily everyday individual person, and that way my confidence can be built up to a point where I don't feel so self-conscious about sharing the parts of myself that are more creative that I actually do want to share. So if I can be me in front of the camera and put it out on YouTube for the whole world to see, if they want to, no one can give a shit really, then why can't I also share my music or animation that is also beautiful, but that I cringe to share because I'm afraid that I'm going to be judged or some stupid shit like that. So I guess what I mean to say is I really don't give a fuck whether you like or like subscribe or press that little ding dongy bell thing. Um, if you want to, that's on you. And I mean, cool, kudos. Like, I guess my ego appreciates it or whatever, but like, I really don't give a fuck. So, um, but I would like you to check out the Wallenstein Project, which I am working on the third episode now. I kind of skipped out this weekend because there was some. I got really, really high all weekend, which is not like me, but or not recently, but I really enjoyed myself. So, and I needed this extra sleep and just enjoying the shit out of myself. So, nobody's business, but whatever. No one's actually watching anyway. Well, I guess that's all. I'm gonna go home now. Fuck off. No, seriously, fuck off.